Seems like that the day passed peacefully at Basra. Means there was no any problem according to writer he says that there was no problem in Basra especially. But I dreaded. As I told you, it is a dreaded means dangerous. Okay, horrible. You can write the word like a horrible. So I dreaded the prospect of transporting. Prospect means just imagine. Imagine that what was going to happen in that if I am carrying this Mijbil to Basra to London, what will happen? So the transporting of Mij to England and to Camusferna. Camusferna, what is the name of, where is Camusferna? Camusferna is the place of writer, place of Max, where Max lives. Camusferna. Okay, so Mij will go from Basra to England and then Camusferna. So the British Airline London would not fly animals. Look here the word. British Airways did not allow any animals to fly with. So that's why. So I booked a flight to Paris on another airplane. So it was compulsiveness that the writer thought that I cannot go with the British Airlines. So he booked a flight to Paris on another airline and from there to London. So he booked 2 tickets to London. The airline insisted, as I told you yesterday also, helped. Suggested. So the airline suggested that Mij should be packed into a box not more than 18 inches square. It was clear instruction given by the British Airways to be carried on the floor at my feet. The first was that there should be a box which should not be exceeded more than 18 inches and that box must be kept in between my feet on the floor. So I had a box made. Look here the word. Yesterday I told you. I had a box made. Means मैंने एक box बनवाया. I made a box. I had made a box. If you are telling I made a box, it means मैंने एक box बनाया. But I had a box made. It seems like that मैंने बनवाया. So an hour before we started, I put Mij into the box so that he would become accused to sit. Accused means habitual. Used to. That you say used to. उसे थोड़ा आदत हो जाए, used to हो जाए, accused हो जाए to eat, and left for a hurried meal. So I kept Mij into the box and thought to have my meal. और मैंने सोचा क्या करने के लिए, थोड़ा खाना खा लेते हैं क्योंकि मुझे निकलना था. So that's why when I returned, जब मैं वापस आया, कहाँ से रिटर्न आया? खाना खा के वापस जब रिटर्न आया. When I returned, there was an appalling. Here, appalling means, a shocking scene. An appalling spectacle scene. There was a complete silence. From the box. I was surprised to know that Mij is not short kind of animal who could be silent. वो इतना silent रहने वाला तो animal है नहीं. तो मुझे थोड़ा आश्चर्य हुआ. But from its air holes and chinks around the lid. लेकिन मैंने देखा इस बॉक्स को जैसे यहाँ पे ये लीड लगा हुआ था तो मैंने कुछ एयर होल्स लगा रखे थे. अगर पैक कर देंगे तो क्या फिर वो हवा नहीं मिलेगी और वो मर जाएगा. तो उस एयर होल्स से मैंने क्या देखा? व्हाट आई सॉ. सो एयर होल्स एंड चिंक्स अराउंड द लिड. ब्लड हैड ट्रिकल्ड. यहाँ से क्या दिखाई दे रहा था? ब्लड आ रहा था. द ब्लड वॉज कमिंग, ट्रिकल्ड आउट एंड ड्राइड. और आ करके क्या हो गया था? सूख चुका था. Blood was already dried. It seems like that a few minutes before, or maybe sometimes before, it was just blood was coming, and after that he was silent, he was hurt, and that's why the blood was dried. तब जाकर के खून जो था वो सूख चुका था. I wiped off. मीन्स मैंने तुरंत से इसके ढक्कन को क्या किया, यहां से हटाया. आई जस्ट रिमूव द लीड. Remove the lid. The lock and the door open the lid. और लीड को ऊपर से थोड़ा फाड़ा. And meat exhausted and blood. The meat was completely exhausted into the box and blood spurted, whimpered and caught at my leg. When he exhausted, he jumped a little bit. He shown his activity and the blood just rushed to my leg. और मेरे पांव से वो चिपक गया. He had torn the lining. Now look here, the question I had already given you a homework, that what did Miss do in the box? So this was, he had torn the lining of the box to shreds when I removed the last of it so that there were no cutting edges. Okay? So basically the answer would be here up to. What did? The question was, what did Miss do in the box? In the box. So what is happening? He had torn the lining of the box to shreds. Okay? He had torn the lining of the box to shreds. Shreds, as I told you, shreds means like धारा बना दिया तोड़ करके, इतना ज्यादा उसे कट कर रखा था. Okay? Okay. वेट कर रहा था. The aircraft was waiting, as because my driver was steering the street of Basra, and I was hurried at any cost to catch the aeroplane. So the aircraft was waiting to take off. Take off means udna. I was rushed. If I say I entered and I rushed, what is the difference between entered and rushed? Entered means casually. Whereas rushed means very hurriedly, without having patience. I was panting, I was palpitating, and I had no any idea. So I was nervous even also. That's why rushed. The rushed word should be used at a place where a person is a little bit nervous, panting, and showing his tiredness, hurriedness, disappointment, not sure whether I should be able to get or not. So he rushed. He rushed through it by the infuriated, मतलब डर के मारे घबराए हुए, very angry, infuriated officials. Luckily the seat booked for me was at the extreme front, but it was my luck that my seat was just in front of the plane where was to be. ये सीधे वाला ऊपर में ही मेरा सीट हुआ करता था. I covered the floor around my feet with the newspaper. अब मैं अपने पाँव को क्या चीज से ढक लिया? न्यूज़पेपर से. Because what was the reason to cover the newspaper, to cover my leg with the newspaper? Because Miss was in between my legs, so I wanted to hide the appearance of the Miss. That's why I covered the floor around my feet with the newspapers. Rang for the air hostess, और बुलाया. Rang means यहाँ पे हो गया call the air hostess. ठीक है?